Hey, it's Polyhard here. I've been given the opportunity to ask you to pray about giving to the orphans and the widows once again. We know that the word was sent forth and healed our dis-ease. And when the word was sent forth, that was the word out of the very mouth of our Father. We think about the idea that the invisible world is always more potent than the physical world. When any building is built, it exists in the spiritual world, the invisible world, before it exists in the physical world. And so the spiritual laws are in effect. The law of the garden: given it will be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will men give unto your bosom. From the same manner that you give, it will be given back to you. So that's what I'm after. I'm after your success. And so if you'd like to go to the Unexpected Cosmology, there's a link there to give to the widows. We're actually doing great works with widows. We have 2 widows now that are with us, and we're blessing them, and they're working with us, and it's wonderful. I'm sure you all know Rebecca and Pamela. Sorry, just be proper. I was every time I make that mistake in my mind, I always think of when Cindy in the Brady Bunch, she's like Cynthia, but I know that's not how Pamela is. But I was like, oh, I just want to make sure I say it right. I don't want to offend anybody. But I do know that not only is Pamela and Rebecca being blessed, are they being blessed? Inventive and creative ways for Noel and his family to become blessed are happening as well. When was it, Jennifer? When did I give all those books? Was it a month and a half ago or 2 months ago? When Noel came down?
That was more than 2 months.
More than 2 months ago. So anyway, I gave Noel just like all of my books, because I was like, oh, I don't have any money right now. It's all tied up in this house I'm trying to build. And so I gave it to them. And so one of my books, sometimes I write tiny stories that I can get an author's copy for $2.50. It's out of print, and it's out of print on purpose because I don't want those stories in the general public's hands. But I had like 8 copies left, so there you go. So Rebecca, she gets them because Noel shipped them all to her, because I just had him take them home with him in his truck. This is what I can give. So, and it's just interesting. This is an inventive way to not only bless someone, but to give to someone. So, they arrive at Rebecca's house, and she sent me a picture of them all on her table. She's like, Polly, what? I'm like, oh yeah, oops, some of those aren't really for Christians. So she's like, okay, write me the blurb. So I wrote all these blurbs, and she puts them in the store. And I said, listen, sometimes I write tiny stories. You really should charge $100 for it. I'm not even kidding, because that's out of print. It's never going to go back into print. And if it does, it's going to have a tweaked title, and it's going to be completely rewritten on the inside. So it was $100. And so Noel, just the other day, I think maybe Monday or last weekend, he says, hey, you weren't kidding. We sold the book for $100. So I can print that book for $250. And so from $250 to $100, to me, I've done an 800 or 800% return on investment is the ROI. So I've done an 800% ROI before. This is a 3,900% ROI. So that's Temperance, little TT. Her name is Temperance Tempest. 3,900% return on investment. So Yahuwah is teaching me about exponential levels of growth in my own personal finances because I gave. And I did not expect it. Now, I didn't reap that return, but the law is proven. The law of the garden was proven. Remember the garden? Everything you can have for free. Everything for free sounds like a good deal. Yet what did the Hasatan get Eve to focus on was the one in the middle that she couldn't eat. So when you focus on your lack, you are always going to be the loser, right? Remember this, that Yeshua has a plan for your life. He loves you. Hasatan has a plan for your death. He hates you. Kind of an easy choice. And yet some people are like, oh, you know what I'm thinking right now? I'm just going to go ahead and choose the devil's side. So he wants us to be stingy and miserly and hateful. And a lot of us who have been impoverished in the past view the wealthy and the people who have as like stingy and miserly, and those are the evil. So there's two types of good. There's two types of rich people. I'm not doing Satan horns. Okay, how's that? Probably should devil worship. So there's two types of people that are rich in the world. There's those who love people and use the wealth the good way, and then there's who love the wealth and use the people, like the guy I work for. Oh, I've got stories for you. Anyway, so we need to just think about, hey, what did Joseph do to his brothers? What did Joseph do to his dad when they throw him into the well, and he puts the money back into the bags of grain? Remember what he said? What you have meant for evil, he has meant for good. It could be the same exact circumstance, the same exact thing. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. That's exactly how it happened. Story is true. It doesn't differentiate. But the purposes, it's the same story, but the purposes of Yahuwah versus the enemy, the accuser of the brethren, are completely the opposite. Remember when what's it? I can't remember if it was the Pharisees and Sadducees and hey, who sinned? I'm talking to Yeshua. Who sinned? This man was born blind, and Yeshua's like, nobody sinned. He was born blind so that the power of Yahuwah could be revealed. So that's what we think about. We think about, I'm gonna give. I'm gonna get over myself and give. And this isn't like prosperity gospel. This is like I'm not asking you to tithe. We don't have a temple. There's no Sanhedrin. There's no priest. There's no high priest right now on earth. And so I can't tithe, but I can give. I'm going to give my alms. And the law of sowing and reaping, the law of the garden, the law of the farmer, it is never ending. It's just like density and buoyancy. Something holds water down, something pulls water up. It's the same thing. It's never going to change. Seed time and harvest will never change until the end comes, and then, of course, everything's going to change. But yeah. Is that tomorrow? I don't know. Maranatha. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a great day, and be blessed and not stressed.